everyone, it's Deanna,
Aaron
and Celeste, and you're catching up on this week's episode of Two Brunettes and A Gay
on the podcast.
Good morning, Adelaide. It is your Two Brunettes and No Gay here this morning, back on your airwaves on this stunning Saturday morning. Deanna and I coming to you live with Aaron not with us this morning as he is on his big Italian travels still. Damn him for being he's in Florence at the moment and he is loving it.
Yeah, look, he's really taken well to the Italian culture, hasn't he? Like the Italian way of life, should I say.
And I feel like
he loves the rebellion of it.
He loves it, you know, and he said he's romanticising his life. I mean, we speak to him daily. We're quite attached, but it's funny, before he left, we gave him all these things to consider about travelling to Italy. And on his daily reports, he is just loving life in Italy. And I'm like, what? Where was my experience like that?
No, I know. I mean, like, obviously, yes, there's so much beauty and things like that. But for me, I was like, oh, it's so hard to get around. And there's just, you know, so much like no one wants to help and no one cares. But I think that's what he likes about it.
I think so. But look,
he also is having a daily Prosecco at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So
on the daily, yes.
On the daily.
Absolutely. He is drinking his best life. But coming up in just a few minutes, we've actually got a live cross from Aaron with a little bit of his own personal update on his travels in Italy. So before we get to that, let's catch up a little bit on how we've been going, because you've been hearing us every week on the airwaves. We've still been here, but we actually haven't been live in studio with you.
No, not for a while.
So this morning is the first live show back for quite a few weeks, and we've got a bit to catch up on. First and foremost, Deanna, how are you doing? You're not feeling that good this morning.
Look, I'm feeling a bit average this morning. I feel like there's been something going around that I've picked up. Well, you know what I reckon? I've picked it up on my travels, because I also had some travels, not as fancy as Aaron's, excuse me, but I was in Cairns for a week, and I came back on Tuesday, and I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, but I feel like you can't get on a plane these days and come out the other end unscathed anymore. Like I used to travel all the time, and I never thought about that I would get sick. And now it's quite like often that I get off a plane and something's been circulating in the air, and it's not fun. I don't recommend it. No.
And on this beautiful Saturday, feeling under the weather while the weather is beautiful.
But I'm going to do my best to pull it together for the show, and then I'll go home and sleep.
Yes, well, you know what? It's interesting because you actually, we saw each other last night. Last night we actually had the Search for a Star grand final, which was an epic night of entertainment. I mean, this show was jam-packed. They had 22 grand finalists, all talented in their own rights.
And we loved it because, obviously, we've been, singing teachers for such a long time. This is like our industry. And, it's been almost a year since we sold our business. It's literally a year at the end of this month.
Which is crazy.
So we've had a year break from it all. So it was good to get back in there and see the young talent again.
It was incredible. What a show. But also, Marshall Hamburger, who we interviewed live on our show just a few weeks ago, he was the headline act, and he is a talented man.
He is a talented, like, for 20 years old,
incredibly
to watch somebody
talented.
play the piano like that and to belt out the notes that he was. I was impressed.
Super impressed, but leading into that, you came to pick me up, and this is where I think your sickness was starting to take hold, Deanna, because I have recently moved, and she came to pick me up at my old house.
I did. And you know what? From my current house, the way to her old house is like maybe, I wouldn't say 10 minutes, but just under 10 minutes longer than the way I should go from my house to her new house. It's actually quicker to get there. So not only did I go the long way, I messaged her when I was turning down her old street.
Yeah.
And she literally, I messaged her, I'm like, I'm turning down here. And she's like, but I live here. Response back. And I was like, oh my God, as it was. And I wasn't running late. I was running on time. I was really proud of myself for being like, okay, I'm going to be there. Maybe I was like 2 minutes late, but I don't class that as late. Nah, screwed it up.
You absolutely screwed it up. But look, it was an absolutely incredible night, and it's been a big few weeks. Some travels, some missing Aaron, some not missing Aaron. It's actually been delightful in some ways as well. I've moved house. Look, we've got plenty to catch up in today's show.
We do.
We've got lots to talk about, and we are going to be getting into a lot. But before we get to all that, we did promise you a live cross from Aaron. He is sending us a message from his travels in Florence, and here he is.
Girls, and ciao from Italia. I thought I'd just drop you a voice memo to give you a little bit of an update of my trip. We're almost at the end of it, sadly, but the key thing I've learned is voglio vivere qui, which is I'm not coming home and I want to live here. To me, any place you can get Prosecco and pizza at 10:30 in the morning is heaven on earth. I've noticed lots of different little things here, like how people just sing and whistle in the streets for no reason, which is cute. And it's totally normal to see shop owners standing in the doorway smoking like it's 1950. Like, it's pretty cool. And also, thank you for the warning about the road rules, or the lack of road rules, because I think I've found a new confidence walking here in Italy. You have to just walk. You have to just go and not wait for anybody. And yeah, I might be bringing that method of walking around at home. Each city feels so different, and I'll give a bit of a rundown next week. But if I had to pick my favourite city so far, or favourite town, was Cinque Terre. It was like stepping into a painting, and I didn't want to leave. And we were only there overnight, but we chucked so much in and actually got to see a lot of the sights. So, yes, I do miss my brunettes. Yes, you. But tornerò presto to come home and being annoying in person. Only a couple of weeks away. Get ready. And yeah, like I said, I'll give you a full review next week. I'm going to describe each of the cities that we've visited in one Italian word. But until then, chin chin, I'm off to drink another Prosecco and romanticise my life. Arrivederci.
Don't go anywhere.
There's more right after this. So, as I mentioned before we played the song, I went to Cairns for a week, and I came back only on Tuesday this week, so it wasn't that long ago. And obviously, you know, I love to travel. We've spoken about travel a lot. We all love to travel, actually. We're a bit of travel bugs in this show, I think.
I'm surprised we're all here at the same time at any point.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've done pretty well this year, actually. I feel like we've been all consistent until now.
Yeah, look, we haven't travelled that much, like you and I this year, in comparison to most years, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, usually we're flitting off around the place.
But there's just been a lot happening. There's been, you know, look, it's been a year. It's been a year.
As Celeste likes to say, put the Christmas tree up and call it a year.
Yeah, it's been a year. I'm ready to call it quits in October.
Yes. But, look, I mean, I had an incident at the airport, and, you know, airports are great for radio content, let's be honest, right? But we had a little bit of an incident at the airport that happened, and I'll tell you what happened. So basically, we got to the airport. Now, Brent and I like to get to the airport quite early. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is because we really like to grab a coffee before we go on the plane. I like to sit down. I'm not super organised before I travel, so I like to have like half an hour to jump on my laptop and my phone, you know, download things. Although half the time I end up just reading a book anyway. I don't even need to. But, you know, I like to have options. Yeah. As we've said, I like to sit in a certain seat. I like to be able to get up and down. I like to have options when I travel. Just it feels free.
And you're a terrible packer. So you tend to need to build in a certain amount of time at the airport for you to weigh your suitcase, then realise that it's over, and then shuffle your belongings into other people's bags.
I went super light on this trip, and it was fine. I feel like I have my moments. It just depends. Sometimes I get in these moods when I'm packing where I'm like, I don't know what I want, and I throw everything in there, and then yes, it's like, oh my God, I'm 2 kilos over. Sometimes I get there and like this time I was like 5 kilos under.
Good on you.
Yeah. So, and I thought, and the only thing I didn't bring, which I only needed on one night anyway, was a nice jacket. Because I was like, I shouldn't need it in Cairns. But the first night it was a bit cool. And I was like, shit, I didn't bring it. But then it was fine after that, so I didn't need it. Anyway, so what happened at the airport is we got there super early. We always like to get there early. And Cairns Airport is small for those of you who have been there, right? But
haven't been there.
who haven't been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. For those of you who haven't been there.
If you've been there, you know.
The Cairns airport is small, but they seem to have all the flights departing at the same time.
Classic.
Yeah. And
Well, it's Queensland. They only want to work a few hours a day.
right?
I reckon they're like,
they
let's
don't
just
even want to work.
fit them all
Firstly,
in a 3-hour window and just then go home.
The only airline that seemed to have 7 flights operating was Jetstar, which is the one that we were on because that's the only direct one that we found on the day that we wanted to leave. So we're on Jetstar. They still have the old system where it's the people that have to do your bag drop, not the self bag drop like we have here at Adelaide Airport, right? So that takes longer as it is.
Which, look, we don't... I'm not like completely against. It's nice that they employ people. Supportive of that,
Yeah, but
convenient.
But this
It's not convenient.
But here's the thing: they've only got about 7 desks, as opposed to like having double of that. Firstly, when you have the bag drop things. But out of the 7 desks, how many do you reckon there was people sitting at?
Probably 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
3 of them were occupied. We were in that line for 50 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long time to wait.
It was a long time. We were in that line for 50 minutes, right? So that basically counted out all of our airport downtime that we had factored in. There was a group of about 6 people, all couples maybe in their 50s, 60s, who were international, right? I'm not going to say what culture they were from because it doesn't really matter. But they were from a non-English speaking culture. And so what happened was they went into the wrong line, the service desk line, because it was a lot shorter. And then they realised that they weren't going to get anywhere because they needed to go on the bag drop line. And so they came to the bag drop line, and about halfway through they proceeded to push in and say, no, we were already here. This guy was saving our spot. And this guy turns around and he was like, I've never spoken to you before. I'm not saving your spot.
Oh, what?
Right? And so then, and they like, no, we were here. You said that you were going to do that. We're in this line. We just had to go here. And then this other lady that was like the one who they were trying to cut in front of, who was the couple of the 2 ladies in front of us, she starts to arc up and say, well, if that's the case, there's 6 of you. Why did all of you go over there? Why didn't some of you stay in the line?
Yeah.
Their story didn't add up. Anyway, she starts to get quite irate. And then Brent starts to get irate because not only was there, like, at first 4 people trying to cut into the line, but then 2 more people tried to cut into the line. And he was like, you can't all come into the line. And I felt like I had some personal growth in this moment. Maybe it was because we had time and I knew that I wasn't necessarily in a rush. But usually I'm the one who goes ham on these situations.
Yeah.
And I said nothing. I stayed out of it, and I just said to Brent, let them in the line. And we let them in front of us. Would you have done the same?
No. No, absolutely. I have talked about this on the show before, right? I have a justice complex.
Yes, you do.
Right, and I don't know where it stems from or why, but I feel as though in situations where there is unjust actions being done, I need to do something or say something about it to correct the wrongdoing. Right? Because it just bothers me and I will think about it, and maybe when I get to my late 30s like you, I will have moved on from said justice complex. But no, in this moment, I definitely would have been like, no, excuse me, I'm sorry, no.
Well,
absolutely not.
Here's the plot twist that I didn't tell you, right? So they played the card in which they were like, sorry, we're not from this country, we don't understand. Right?
Oh,
And
okay.
I had said to Brent, you know what, we've got plenty of time, just let them through. I'll go and grab coffees from the place outside here and we'll just hold them in the line and we'll drink them, like it's fine. I was relaxed after my holiday, I was zen, I was good. And then we're standing in the line and he turns to me with this look of fury on his face and he says to me, look at their passports. They're liars. They're from America.
Oh, no.
Pour yourself another Bubbles.
Don't go anywhere.
We'll be back after this break. So this is a topic that we've talked about many times before, and whilst I feel like it is slowly starting to get a little bit better, or maybe we're just becoming more familiar with the current cos he lives.
Oh, not really. I mean, like, a main course in the holiday destinations in Cairns was $40.
Yeah, see, that's ridiculous. But again, holiday destinations.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if it just feels like it's like because, I don't know, mortgages are slowly going down. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're just becoming more familiar with the prices and it just seems normal now.
You
It's like
become
a new normal.
desensitized to it. Yeah.
But because he lives, like, it striked again, right? During the last few weeks that we've been off air. As I mentioned earlier in the show, I moved house.
By the way, if you're not familiar with Cozzy Lives, it's cost of living.
Cost of living, right? The cost of living crisis that everyone talks about. But, you know, Cozzy lives. So I moved house a few weeks ago, and in doing that, I have taken the house that we were living in, which is a house that we own, and we have rented it out.
Yeah.
So the
Great
process,
tax break.
yeah. So the process of renting our house out, if you've done it before, you know, like there's things that you need to do to prepare for it, and you know, paperwork and insurance and all those things. Did all that stuff, and then the last thing that I needed to do was go and get keys cut because we had our set of keys, or our sets of keys, but
you need one for the agents, and
you need multiple. They require 3 sets of keys. So I was like, look, no worries. That's the last thing I'm going to do. I'm set to drop everything off on this one day, and in the morning before I go and do that, I'm going to go get the keys cut, drop them off, and done, right? So I took my set of keys. I went to a key cutting establishment in a location that shall not be named, right? Because there's only going to be one there, and I don't want to call them out. And look, maybe I'm living under a rock, or maybe it's just been years since I've had keys cut. In fact, I can't remember the last time I had keys cut.
Right.
But I was astonished when I tell you how much I was charged to cut keys.
How many keys did you... Like, are you talking a group price? Are we talking a per key price?
This was a per key price, although I needed to get a group cut.
Yeah. Okay.
So I needed to cut 11 keys.
Oh, shit, that's a lot.
Right, because I needed 3 sets.
Okay.
So 3 keys on each set was 9. And then for the new house that I was moving into, I needed 2 keys cut.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Because I was like, why didn't you just give them your old key?
No, I needed it for our new house as well.
Right,
so I had 11 keys to cut. And my little brain is sitting here thinking, I don't know, what's a key cut? Like $3 or $4 a key? That's what I'm assuming.
No.
Right? Like I said, it's been a while. I want you to
eat.
Okay, we'll get to that. I want you to take a guess at how much it cost me to get 11 keys cut. And I'm going to say it took the guy that did it probably less than 10 minutes to cut 11 keys. There was a problem with it as well, but less than 10 minutes. Have a guess at how much it cost me to get 11 keys cut.
Okay, now I'm trying to work out on a per price key, but it would have been at least $150.
Oh, okay, that's ridiculous, Deanna, $150. It was $110.
110? Yeah, okay, so they're working off like $9 a key.
It's $10 a key.
Yeah.
$110. It took him like 8 minutes. I was like, $110 for 8 minutes.
Yeah, they charge... Yeah, that's actually quite cheap. I reckon I've paid $15 to get a key cut before.
That is ridiculous for a service. Mind you, it has now come to my attention since my tenants moved in that the keys that I have cut are not working.
Oh,
so I've paid $110. This has turned into a brunch, bitch. I've paid $110 for keys that are not serving their intended purpose.
The keys aren't working. You didn't check them, obviously.
No, I didn't check them.
No.
So we've had to give them the original set that we have because I'm just going to say this because now I'm feeling fired up about it. The person that cut the keys, I didn't think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, right.
Did
you have the receipt? Can you just take them back and say these don't work?
I don't even know where I put the receipt, to be honest with you. Like, it was weeks ago.
Oh.
So I'm like, are you kidding me? If I'm going to have to do this again, I've just paid $110 to get keys cut. And then, to add salt to the wound, right? He goes to me, did you want to put them on key rings? And here I am thinking he means like the little, just the little flimsy, like silver key rings to pair them all together, like the 3 sets, because it's like front door, back door, upstairs door, right? And I was like, oh, that'd be great. He's like, I'll just check the price on those. To charge me for the little silver ring. I was like, I've just spent $110 on keys cutting and you want to charge me per ring, what, like 10 or 20 cents? Did you
pay for it?
No, I did not.
So what did you say?
No, I did not. I said, oh, well, then don't worry about it. And he goes, oh, I'll just throw them in. And I was like, yeah, Yeah, you know what? Customer service. I've just paid $110 for less than 10 minutes of your time and you wanted to charge me? Charge me? For a silver ring to be cut? I don't know. Am I being ridiculous in thinking that that is outlandish?
Okay. Well, look, I guess the keys probably don't cost that much wholesale. I would assume they probably cost not even $1.
Oh, less than that. I reckon
Yeah.
20 cents. Come at me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah, maybe if you cut keys, maybe, let us know. Head to 2 Brunettes A Gay on socials. But I think that if you are doing that many, there should have maybe been like a discount, because I have definitely paid, I feel like, at least $12 for a single key cut before.
yep.
And I get it, because they're offering you service and, there's electricity. I've been a business owner. Like, we know how this works. I get it. But maybe if you were doing a group of keys, at least throwing in the rings is definitely good customer service, I see.
100%, right? And listen, if you're a key cutter or a locksmith and you're like, you know what? Like, you guys are completely wrong, let us know. If you're a key cutter or a locksmith and you do key cutting for less than that, also let us know, because I will send all my business to you from now on.
Because she needs to get 11 keys recut, by the sounds of things.
Because at this point, I just paid $110 for absolutely nothing. So there you have it. 2025, Cozzy Lives strikes again.
Go pour yourself another Bubbles. We'll be back after this.
Now, when you hear that music, it can only mean one thing. Conspiracy theories. Look, we love a conspiracy theory here. Don't you notice how our voices change as well?
I know, because the music is very...
We get so much deeper and more sultry.
serious.
I said sultry, you said serious. Right, there is something that was brought to our attention just this morning. Now, this is not a conspiracy theory that is new to us, Deanna.
No.
But it is something that on this glorious Saturday morning we noticed on our walk to our coffee shop. And we thought to ourselves, you know what, this needs to be addressed on a public forum. Because I don't know how many people know about this. So, here you go. The truth behind those white streaks trailing behind jets in the sky. We've all seen those white streaks trailing behind planes and jets, creating stripes against the blue sky. I'm sure you've all looked into the sky on a day like today and seen, planes flying around, jets flying around with these white trails following them. And you've thought to yourself over the last however many years you've been alive, what is that? I remember as a kid thinking that.
Yep. Although some people go, oh, how pretty.
Well, in case you don't know, those lines are called contrails, which is short for condensation trails, and they appear when water vapour condenses and freezes around the exhaust from an aircraft. But that is according to the University Corporation for Atmospheric Research. Bullshit.
Yep. I was 100% going, I don't even care who they are, but I don't believe them.
In recent years, a growing number of people believe that these contrails are actually called chemtrails, a well-established conspiracy theory asserting that these trails aren't made from condensation at all, but are instead chemicals being sprayed by the government on the general population. Now, Deanna, this is something that you and I have talked about for a number of years. This is something that I feel like our close circle has talked about for a number of years.
Definitely.
The fact that what are these, you can't tell me that these white trails in the sky, because you don't see them on normal planes.
No, you don't see. We go to the airport a lot. Like, I've done a lot of travel in my time.
Right? So do you or do you not believe that these are actually chemicals being sprayed by the government, which I know you believe, right? And if so, what do you think they're doing?
Well, I mean, I am personally somebody who goes with the whole weather manipulation theory, right? And let me just hear me out if you're sitting there going, no, I want to turn this off. This is just, I'm an observant person, and I don't know if anybody else listening has made the same observations as me. But every time Adelaide is really easy to notice this. We've had a week of average weather. And today is the first really nice day for spring that we've had. And if you look at the weather app, it will tell you that by afternoon tomorrow, there's a big cool change coming through. There's going to be lots of rain.
Yeah.
every time we get a super nice day out of the ordinary here where you go, finally, like, spring is coming in. And there hasn't been any all winter, by the way, if you're observing. And I've had this conversation with a few people at this point in time. Haven't seen any chemtrails all winter. We've had a pretty rainless winter. Hasn't been very...
It's been dry.
It's been dry. The skies have been quite clear. Haven't been able to see any. Today, it's a beautiful sun-shining day. And then the apps are telling us that by tomorrow, all of a sudden, within like 24 hours, there's going to be rain. Boom. On that really nice day, you look up to the sky, you will see the white lines.
The thing about it that I find so fascinating is that it feels like whenever we have warm weather, it doesn't go warm and then cool. It's a cool change that completely switches
a
from
180.
A beautiful sunny day to like 15 degrees difference and like a thunderstorm. It's a significant change every time. I notice it in summer. We can have a 40-degree day and then it'll be like raining and 23.
Yes.
And you're like, how did that happen?
Adelaideans, that didn't happen when we, like 30 years ago in my life, that didn't happen. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. Summer was summer, winter was winter, spring was spring, and autumn was autumn. And you kind of knew. Yeah, we used to joke about Melbourne having 4 seasons in one day, but it wasn't Adelaide. But now, we might not have 4, but we do sometimes get 2.
Definitely. I'm also, look, and I agree on the weather manipulation front, but I'm also married to an asthmatic. And what I notice, and what we notice, because he notices the same thing, and his mum is exactly the same, she's very aware of it too, is the fact that on days where you notice chemtrails, their asthma or their reaction to even just like the environment is significantly different.
Interesting.
The coughing is significantly different, the runny nose is significantly different, the eyes is significantly different, and the asthma tendency or the symptoms, they need their puffer a lot more. And it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So, look, just food for thought.
Yeah.
Chemicals for thought.
I would love to hear if people are listening going, yes, I am so with you on this, or absolutely not, like you're making it up. Because, I don't know, to me, observation is 10 times more powerful than science sometimes. I just don't need somebody else to tell me what's going on. I like to make up my own mind about things.
Just think about it, and next time you see them, take notice of what happens next. Top up your cup. We'll be back after this break.
Yay or nay? I have a really gross yay or nay for you today. Again, from my travels in Cairns, right? Went into many public toilets when you're away because you have to.
Every toilet's a public toilet when you're not at home.
Yeah, well, I mean, apart from the hotel.
No, but it's still public, you know what I mean? Like, it's not yours.
I don't know. I don't know what the definition of a hotel toilet is, but I'd say it's like semi-private.
You do share it with others.
That's true.
Again, more food for thought. We're giving you a lot to think about this episode.
Theoretically, it's cleaned before you use it.
Okay, so we're talking public toilets being in a public area.
We're talking public toilets like the ones that the council provides on the side of the road.
Excellent.
Right? Grotty public toilets. And even if they're nice for council public toilets, they're still grotty.
Yeah, well, the public.
Yeah, because sometimes
the great unwashed.
We've all done it. We get in there and you just literally go, what do people do in here? Like,
I think some people do go in there purposely just to, like, F shit up.
I know, but get a life. There is so much that you can experience in this world without having to be gross in a public toilet. Anyway, that's not the topic of conversation right now. This was a yay or nay, which means a would you or would you not do this thing. I saw it and I was like an absolutely hardcore no. It just made me want to throw up. There was a girl, she didn't look that much younger than me, right? In there, had a backpack on. She might have been a backpacker or something like that. In there, filling up her drink bottle in the public toilet tap. I don't know. Some people will go, it's just water. I can't get on board with that. I just went to wash my hands and I saw her doing it and I was like, I don't care how thirsty I am. I don't know if I could do it.
Listen, right. I agree. Personally, could not do it. For me, it's grotty. However, are we coming from a place of privilege when we're like, oh, I would not do that? Like, what if she doesn't have access to other water and that's her only option to fill up her drink bottle? What is she going to do? Fill it up in a fountain?
Yes, that's an alternative.
No, I mean like an actual fountain.
No, like I mean
Not
like
a water fountain.
you know.
You're like, yes, she should go to where the birds sit and fill it up in there instead. It's cleaner.
No, like there's public drink fountains.
Yes, but how accessible are they? But where are they? You have to find them.
I know, and I know. You know what? Maybe
You're
like,
being judgy.
If you work for the council or something, you're probably like the water all comes from the same place.
You know what? Yeah, it does. I agree, number one. And number two, to be honest with you, it's probably cleaner out of one of the toilet taps because people use soap in there. I bet you, just because people like to, again, F shit up, there's probably people that piss on water fountains that you drink out of.
No,
Just because they know people drink out of them.
No, I don't know. I couldn't do it. Like, and I'm not saying you have to buy water, but I just feel like, okay, if you went into a cafe and you used their toilet and they were relatively clean, maybe if you're desperate, that's where I fill up my bottle. But I couldn't do it on the council public toilets. Like, I don't know what it is in my mind, but I
think it's also because they're old. Were they old? Were the toilets old?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like, I feel like the older the toilet, the older the pipes, the more you feel like, oh, that water's just dirty and rusty and gross.
Because because the smell in there is bad, and it's like as the water's coming up, it's collecting the odour.
Yeah, no. Look, personally, I couldn't do it, but I'm trying to come from a place of not being judgmental and that was her only option. I'll add to that, though. Last night when we did go out, I did buy 2 bottles of water for the two of us.
Right.
This is probably why she's filling it up in the public toilets. Cosy Lives coming at you again. Those 2 bottles of water cost me $12. That's $6 a bottle.
And they were small bottles.
Small bottles.
They were the smallest bottles that you
could
get.
like 500 mils?
Yeah.
Tiny, right? So when you think about that, like, people might just not have that level of access to fresh water, which is, you know what, Australia? Again, I feel like my justice complex is coming back out. I'm getting on my soapbox.
She's on a soapbox.
Because the Prime Minister is listening. He tunes in on a weekly basis.
I don't know about the Prime Minister. Maybe Mally, if we're lucky.
No, the Prime Minister definitely. Is it? Oh, it's Albo. Yeah, Aaron tells me that. See, where is our resident politician, Aaron Collins, when we need him?
With everything.
We need to do something about this. Australians need access to the simplest things like water that they don't need to get from council public toilets. And it shouldn't be, like, the cost of living should not impact our ability to access water, for example. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I get it, like, the cost is just passed on by the retail establishment that is selling it, although they are definitely adding on top. But it's just crazy. $6 for a bottle of water? No wonder there's people filling it up in the public toilet.
Noticed, buying 2 coffees at the moment, you're usually spending over $15.
Just absolutely wild.
Which is pretty much just water with some coffee beans in
on the water, though, on the bottle of water, I got another one for you, right? Because this, I feel like, is a big debate between people. Yay or nay, drinking out of someone else's drink bottle?
Nay. It depends on the person.
Yep.
It depends on the person.
Yep.
Like if it's a family member or something, yes, or maybe a close friend.
But backwash is backwash. Does it matter?
Well, I mean, like you and Jake take
relation?
this to the next level because Jake won't even have like your backwash.
No, okay, yes. I'll speak on this. My husband will not drink out of my drink, but I would drink out of his.
Yeah.
Right, because like that doesn't bother me. But he won't. He will like open mouth drink out of my drink bottle, pour it into his mouth, and I'm like, this makes no sense at all, mate. I don't understand.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all. He takes it to the next level. I agree, but backwash is backwash.
No, if I
doesn't matter if you're genetically related.
If I chewed something and then gave it to Brenton, he'd still eat it.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I know. He's next level though. He's kind of gross. But yeah, the point is that it depends. But now after seeing that, how do you know a close friend? What if they filled up their drink bottle in a public toilet?
Well, you don't know. Top up your cup. We'll be back after this break.
It's time for Am I the Arsehole? I've got a travel-related Am I the Arsehole? since, we've been in the travel thing. There's going to be a lot of travel stuff over the next couple of weeks, especially when Aaron comes back.
Oh, he's not going to shut up about it.
No, I know. But you know what? We like travel, and if you don't, maybe this isn't the show for you.
But don't stop listening because we really appreciate the support. Just maybe tune us out. Like, just keep it on in the background, but don't listen as closely.
That's right. Yeah. Just be nice about it. All right, here we go. This one, I actually feel like this would have been funny if Aaron was here, but he's not here, so maybe you can play both sides.
Channeling my inner Aaron.
Channel your inner Aaron.
I'm going to channel my inner gay.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling a kid to shut up on a plane? On a short flight with my wife, there were 3 kids in front of us. 2 were fine, but the youngest was an absolute menace. Yelling, kicking seats, throwing tantrums, and ignoring his mum the entire trip. After over an hour of noise, even through my noise-cancelling headphones, I snapped. I leaned forward and said, "Yo, kid, you need to shut up." And he went silent. His mum hit me with, "He's just a kid." But honestly, if your child is disturbing the entire cabin and no one can relax, am I really the bad guy for saying what we were all thinking?
I don't need to channel my inner Aaron for this. Absolutely not. No. And Aaron and I would be on the same page with that. No, 100%. You're not an asshole for getting to the end of your tether, because we can talk on this from like experience just in the last 24 hours.
I know. Yeah.
Last night at the show, where we were sitting was kind of like on raised
Elevated
seating.
Yeah,
like elevated seating. But only a few rows down from us was like flat seating, but tables. And there was an entire table of young girls. When I say young, maybe like between like 5 and 8?
Yeah.
Right, between that age group. So young girls, not teens, young girls. And then next to them was, I assume, what was their table of mums.
Yes, and they were clearly a dancing group.
They were clearly from a dance background, right? They were behaving so atrociously the entire show, and they were not being parented at all.
No, they're being encouraged.
They were jumping on chairs. They were standing up in front of people. They were running in front of people. They were getting in front of people. And at no point was any one of those parents, and there was like 8 mums.
And we're talking
there.
for about, 4 hours, mind you?
Yes, no point were they getting told off. In fact, the mums had the phones out and they were filming the kids doing this, like encouraging the behaviour. Yeah. And you've got people here that have paid like $100 to see this show and come and see people that they want to actually support, like family members, friends that are performing, and it's completely atrocious.
And we were actually sitting away, and it was still distracting.
Right, so I 100%, if I was like right behind them, would have said something. So no, not the asshole. 100% you paid for your seat on that flight. When I fly, I like to get like in a peaceful state if I can, because sometimes flying can be like an anxiety-inducing experience. You know,
for you, yes, Celeste gets a bit stressed out.
I get a little bit of flight anxiety. Yeah. I think you have started to get it a little bit as well more recently, where you're just like, okay.
No, I'm pretty okay.
You know what it is? It's just the idea that it's out of your control, and I'm like, I can't go into the cockpit and take over.
Yeah.
If something happens here.
I don't get it's not flight anxiety for me. Sometimes it's just like getting out of a routine and I have this like moment of, but otherwise, no, it's not the flight that bothers me.
My point, no. When you get on that flight, whether you're starting holiday or ending holiday, you have a right to peace. And if that peace is being disturbed by child, adult, and or other, you have a right to tell them to shut up. Deanna, what are your thoughts on this?
I am hesitant to comment until I am a parent. Because I just, like, in theory, we were brought up with a lot of discipline.
Very diplomatic answer from you.
Yes. In theory, we were brought up with a lot of discipline. But then there are some people who tell me that there are just some kids that it's really difficult to do anything about. So I don't know.
No, but I also think that, like, if you are around a parent that you can see is trying, you're not going to say something.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? If you've got a parent that's like, that's enough, there's people around you, hey, we need to bring it down, we need to be quieter, we need to, like, understand that there's people around us, let's do this, let's do that. And you can see that that parent is trying and that kid is not responding, you're never going to turn around and tell them to shut up, because you can see that that parent is trying to handle that situation.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. I do. I think it's, the ignoring is the thing. And again, not a parent. Don't know how it rolls, but the ignoring is the thing that I find it difficult to get my head around. I don't know how you tune it out. Like maybe it's just, maybe after a while you learn to tune it out. But at this point in our lives, no, we don't tune it out. It's very obvious.
Well, you took the diplomatic approach.
I know, which is why you need Aaron here. I had to represent. This is why I say the thing.
I had to represent Aaron. 100%. He would on that flight. He's in business class, mind you.
Oh, could you
Which
imagine?
we're just going to hear all about, I'm sure, when he gets back, just in case you're not jealous enough of the fact he's in Italy.
Like drunk already and just being like, "Hey kid, shut up."
He would definitely cut a kid in business class for sure.
Well, there you are. You are not the asshole, according to Celeste.
But you maybe are, according to Deanna.
I don't know. Look, TBA on that one. But thank you so much for tuning in for yet another week. We have a very special show planned for you next week as well, so make sure you tune in for that one. I don't know, do we want to spill the beans on it or do we want to keep it quiet? We're doing a bit of like a comeback. We haven't done this for about a year.
It's been about a year since we did this style of show, and next week we're going to be bringing it to... You know what? We're not going to tell them because we want them to tune in because they don't know what to expect. But it is going to be a good one, and it was very well liked last year when we did it.
Yes, and now that, there's been a little bit... We had one under our belt. I feel like the second one will just be even better. Yeah. So make sure you tune in next week, obviously. If you've been listening live and you want to catch us on the podcast, we upload new episodes almost every Saturday. No, we don't. It's not Saturday. It's actually Tuesday that we upload them on the podcast. I'm getting confused here. Anyway, we upload them. It doesn't matter. Go and listen on all your major podcasting platforms. And, of course, if you've been listening live and you want to know, if you caught us on the podcast and you want to listen live, see, this is what happens when you have a 3-week break. I can't even remember it.
Oh, yeah, that's the problem. It's the 3-week break.
And you want to catch us live, tune in Radio Italia Uno, 11 a.m. every Saturday, 87.6 FM. And, of course, if you haven't already, head to our social media, Instagram, TikTok, give us a like or a follow because we share some pretty funny content, if I do say so myself.
Now have a fabulous week, and we will see you next Saturday. Hey everyone, it's Deanna, Celeste and Aaron here, or as you know us, your Two Brunettes and A Gay.
Join the weekend happy hour at a new day and time every Saturday at 11 a.m.
So pour your mimosa for the most fabulous bottomless brunch in town.
Only on Saturdays at 87.6 FM, Radio Italia Uno.